Episode 32.
32.
32.
Was that Magic Johnson's old jersey number?
Yes.
I think so.
Spiral is what we're reviewing.
Which one?
And no, we are not reviewing Spiral from 2009, starring Joel David Moore. We are not
Directed by Adam Green.
Directed by Adam Green, exactly. We are not reviewing Spiral, the movie that comes out in 2021 that's restarting the Saw franchise. We are not reviewing Uzumaki, which is the Junji Ito adaptation, also known as Spiral. No, there are far too many Spiral movies.
Wasn't the second Ring movie called Spiral in Japan?
In Japan, yeah, I think so.
Yeah. The first sequel, not the one where they're like, well, we screwed this up, let's do it again.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, no, not those, because God knows we needed another. In a general sense, God knows we needed another horror movie called Spiral.
Why is that so popular? Why is that so popular?
I don't know.
And they always got the little spiral. The spiral that's on the Saw trailer is in this movie. Because I guess that's there's only one symbol for a spiral, I guess, unless you want to put Spiral the Dragon from the old video game in the play.
I'm sorry, what?
Spiral the Dragon.
Spyro.
Not Spiral.
Never mind then. Erase that part. That part didn't happen.
Nope, it's staying.
No. It's staying.
I'm not a gamer.
If I had to comment on episode 29 that I fucked up and said that that Wreck started with a reference to the urban legend about not having.
And you know what? I heard you say that, and I was like...
And you didn't think about it. Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't sound right, but whatever. I'm probably wrong.
Yeah, if I have to make that comment, you have to deal with that one there. But anyway, no, this is it's a Canadian movie. It was filmed in 2018, released in 2019, and hit Shudder in October.
It's a slow burn.
Very slow.
It's slow. Directed by Kurtis David Harder.
That's him. He at least produced something else I'd heard of, but I can't remember what it is right now.
Starring mostly people you possibly haven't heard of, and Lachlan Monroe, who's done a butt ton of TV, was in Scary Movie.
Yeah.
And
dance
flick.
Ty Wood played Tyler in this, like the son across the street. He is in Sabrina.
Yeah, there's
Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. Other than that, I didn't recognize anybody else.
Yeah.
Just those two. So, who wants to give the synopsis?
I'll let one of you take it on this one.
That's probably good, because you'd probably say something horrible and we'd have to cut it. And...
I mean, it's a slippery slope.
God. I don't want to do
Is it though,
one.
Chuck? Is it a slippery slope?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't think so. I mean, it's not like I'm going to be using
so the gist of it,
slurs here.
The most basic gist of it is a gay couple moves into suburban house number 5,360 in the middle of random place. I think
1995, right?
1995.
Yeah, which, pointing out, this is what I was saying. I said there was something I didn't pick up on as fast as my wife. I legitimately, for like the first 20 minutes of this movie, thought it was in present day.
Oh, really?
Then my wife goes, "Hey, what the hell is with that camera?" We noticed she notices the Polaroid camera, and then she's like, "Why is he using like that?" Like over the course of the movie, suddenly we slowly piece together, he's using a Polaroid camera. That's a really old computer. Wow, look at that website.
Well, my wife said, "Who the hell uses a computer like that?" And I was like, "Babe, it's the 90s." And she's like, "Is it?" And I was like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah. So yeah, we basically did the So yeah, it's 1995. They move into this suburban neighborhood. The husband, what am I saying? The husband, one of the couple, has a history in his past with phobic violence, which traumatized him, and he has flashbacks throughout the movie to it. But they're trying to start a new life together because the other partner has just left his wife because he came out of the closet and went through a lengthy court battle with his then wife over the daughter, got custody of the daughter. They talk about the fact at one point that, like, they were being told they were like unfit to care for the kid, things like that. There's a lot of homophobia like undercurrent in the movie. But basically, as the movie goes on, it's before when was Get Out made? 2018, 2017?
Around that time, yeah.
It's in essence, I don't want to say if it is like it is, but it is in essence, it's gay Get Out in a way, or it's trying to be on some level.
2017.
In the sense, in the sense that it's a couple moves into suburban neighborhood. The neighborhood is unbelievably creepy toward couple, and homophobic towards couple, spray paint stuff inside their house, spray paint slurs inside their house, things like that. One member of the couple sees it, freaks out about it, and is insistent that things are happening. The other member of the couple does not and refuses to see it, in essence. And so the one who sees everything is endlessly investigating and trying to figure out what the hell's going on and suspicious of everything that's going on in the city. Yeah, that's about all I'm willing to give on a plot synopsis for this because of how it's set up. If you want to go further, you can. But
I just want to ask, was anybody really burning CDs in 95?
Yes, I was.
Oh, in 95?
I definitely was doing it in the 2000s, so I would assume I would have been doing it in 95.
See, I don't remember getting my first...
Well, yeah, you're right. Valid point, yes.
I didn't get my first CD burner.
I misunderstood what you meant. It is a little early, yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't get my first CD burner till like 99-ish.
I got one in 98.
Yeah.
And they were still like I paid $150 for it.
Oh yeah, they're pretty.
So they were still pricey. I mean, now they're like $20.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I misunderstood what you meant. Yeah, it's
and we had like a 4X right.
That's what the guy had on this was a 4X right. But one thing I was surprised was I was more surprised they didn't go the whole floppy disk route with this.
I would have honestly, that would have made more sense.
Well,
made a hell of a lot more sense.
I'm
not saying not floppy, 3.5.
Yeah, yes. I got my first CD player in like 95, 96. So CDs were still kind of cutting edge at this time.
But they do have like the home stereo with the CD changer. She does walk around the city at one point with these big, honestly, look kind of like these except silver.
She had a Walkman.
Headphones.
So, I mean, and that's like the whole like this took place in the 90s. Like one of the opening scenes is when they were driving in the car on their way there, and she had those headphones on, and I mean their clothing's fairly dated. They're the old Jeep Wagoneer that they're driving. And then the flashbacks
to the Volvo was old as shit.
The flashbacks to like the hate crime that was committed. Was 83. Mm-hmm. And then you see like when it flashes back forward, it's the same guy that plays Malik. So I mean it wasn't too far in the future, but you see more and more of the flashback as the film goes on. Like you see a brief, like just seconds of it at the beginning, and then a little bit more and a little bit more, and it just plays the whole scene over again until you finally see exactly what happens, which you've already found out by watching it what has happened.
Yeah, Chuck I think you made a remark when we were in the group chat or something. It was either you or W said that. Oh no, it was you, W. You said you liked it, but you figured out what was going on pretty early.
Very early.
Something like that. And I wanted so much to like this movie more than I do.
Me too.
My wife watched it with me. She was very angry about this movie. I'm not on the level she is, but it's really just this movie is missed opportunity. The movie, like the low potential. The movie, basically.
Like I don't like that it's so slow, and which I love slow burn films, but this one didn't do it for me. I knew what was going on. Like I knew what was going to happen. I didn't know what the outcome, what the end game for these people that are messing with them. I didn't know what their outcome was. You figure it out. At least it gives you the opportunity to figure it out. But like I'm very, very okay with the ending. Like I actually thought the ending was really, really smart and creative.
I think that's probably the best part of the movie.
You're referring to the very ending, like the last
Like
thing you
the
see,
whole final third.
Well,
So
yeah, the last act to me, I think, is probably what salvages it. Everything leading to that is a little slow.
So here's
But go ahead.
the problem that we had with it is, you're right, it's really slow, and I generally can like a slow movie too. The problem is it's slow, but it doesn't explain anything of its slowness. And I'll give you a really good example that's not terribly spoilery. Throughout the entire movie, this main character is writing what's supposed to apparently be the biography of this, like, I guess you'd call him preacher, academic, educator, whatever. He's watching, like, tapes of him, basically, and trying to write a autobiography of him. And it goes out of its way to show you he's doing this a lot. Like, multiple scenes, multiple shots of the tape, rewinding so you can hear him say things like about the traditional family and things like that. And it does all that, and it never feels like that's paid off. Like,
correct. It does not.
A lot of the slow burn things in the movie just aren't paid off super well, and those that are, let's say a piece of paper, for example, they're paid off, but there's nothing super special to it. Like, I'll put it this way. The ending, I like the concept of the ending. I was explaining, a bit of in terms of like why one character says at the very end as to why they're able to do this. And then the last thing you see in the movie, that sequence at the end, why that kind of can work for what they're saying in the movie. That being said, it feels like that ending and that concept is better in a movie that earned it, at least for me. Like, I get what they're doing, but as a really good example on that, okay, the ending's great. Tell me exactly what the hell that did. As in, not spoilery, in Get Out, you know what they're trying to do to the people. Like, what the purpose of everything that happens in Get Out to the black people, what the purpose of that is in the grand scheme, what their goal is.
Mm-hmm.
At no point in this movie, at least that I saw, partially because they quick cut so much to that damn book, it doesn't really explain it too well, what the purpose of what they do in this movie is for them.
Well, when we end this, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Because that's like I said, I knew what was going on, but I didn't know what their outcome was. And then the film legitimately puts it right in front of your face.
I have a suspicion as to what it is, but it's
for about
very,
90 seconds.
very subtle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's like you have to really pay attention to that particular part. And I imagine if I rewound it and
that's the thing. There's a lot of little pieces of this film that you do have to pay attention to, like these phone conversations that Malik, these like secret conversations on the phone that Malik is having at night, and the fact that, slight spoiler, that we do see him taking medication, but never really being told what his medication is for.
Yeah,
and it's literally just a split second. You see him take it, popping his pills, drinking his water, whatever, like 2 or 3 times throughout the movie, and that plays a bigger role into him in the final third of the why he's acting the way he's acting.
Basically, this is an indie take on somebody trying to make a elevated horror film in the vein of Hereditary and Midsommar.
Yes, I would agree with that in this context, and it's not good enough to be that, basically.
But it sure tries, though.
It's trying its damnedest. I will admit that.
It tries to give you a good little gut punch at the end. But how you feel about that probably depends on how you feel about them characters before you get to that point.
Yeah.
Like the most sympathetic person in this movie to me is our main guy.
Yes.
Absolutely. Everybody else doesn't really earn your sympathy in ways if you think about it.
I very much like the daughter's character.
I don't know.
Daughter was fine, but daughter also has some real case of the stupid every so often.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which obviously was shown through more than once, and she was kind of a jerk to our main guy at times too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But obviously she had a reason.
She's going through. She's fucking angsty teenager moving to a new town, knowing
Yeah.
nobody, and you can tell that she's angry at her mother, but she very much misses her mom, because the first thing that she does when she unpacks her stuff is put her mother's photo in her her vanity in the mirror.
Yeah.
You know, the movie had like a good stopping point, even if everything just wrapped up at the party with the way we seen it. And say like that'd been it, and everything happened just because of like, you know, what he's taking.
Yeah, but
you
the
know,
thing is,
but then we go the extra mile with it.
So here's the thing, like, and that's part of the issue with it too, is I didn't call everything like to that point, like you mentioned what's happening with the main character. I did not 100% call that. I did, however, call what was going on with the phone calls, because it just made too much sense that it had to be that. And when that happened, you're right, they could have ended it there, but in this time frame where we have had movies like, let's go with an example that I like but everybody seems to hate, which would be The Devil Inside. Or actually not The Devil Inside, The Last Exorcism.
I like The Last Exorcism.
I like The Last Exorcism as well. Yeah, there's a point where The Last Exorcism, for example, could end, and it would make sense. And they decide to go back and do something else. And The Last Exorcism, I feel like, earns that ending. This one, the minute they reveal that point where it could end, there is no way that movie's going to end there. They could have, sure. There's no way they would have ended it there.
Yeah.
And that's kind of part of where it's like, yeah, it's a twist, but do you really not see that part of the twist coming at all? You know?
We should review The Last Exorcism sometime.
Yes,
we should. I think it's a great. I think it's a great talking movie. I haven't seen it since theaters.
Same here.
It's me. I've seen it in theater.
We really should, because I think it's underrated as hell.
I was on a date for that movie.
And my take on that whole movie is somebody that doesn't believe in God would surprise you.
I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna say I don't believe in God, but like I'm very much irreligious. You know, I go agnostic on my thing on that, and just the way that movie works, it works for me. And like I maybe if I watch it again, I'll feel different. But that's I love The Last Exorcism.
Well, it worked back in, when was that? Was that 2009? When was that?
Oh God,
it's a long time ago.
Oh God, it's which, for the record, I haven't seen the sequel, and I have no desire to see the sequel.
I have not seen the sequel either.
I've seen the sequel because it was 2010. I've seen the sequel because Rebecca McKendry sent me a bunch of stuff from Fango at one point. I got The Woman in Black 2, which was real bad.
What is it with them and making sequels to shit that they really don't need to make?
Last Exorcism 2, which was real bad, and another sequel. It was like a box of sequels. And then I also got a Woman in Black 2 sweatshirt and a Woman in Black 2 Coleman sleeping bag. Like it's legitimately just like a really nice sleeping bag that I've used multiple times, with a Woman in Black 2 patch sewn on it to it. I mean, whatever. She's like, "Hey, I'm gonna send you some stuff," and I'm like, "Cool, let's do it."
It's free. I mean,
I watched the movies and they were all bad, but I don't know where I probably threw that sweatshirt away, and I've got the sleeping bag down here in the basement.
Yeah, not The Devil Inside. I do like The Devil Inside. Most people hate it. No, I meant Last Exorcism. Last Exorcism is much like this movie, but Last Exorcism earns it, and I don't think this one does.
It has nothing to do with any of these movies, but have you guys seen I Trapped the Devil?
I Trapped the Devil?
I Trapped.
No.
I wish I had a digital copy.
When did it come out?
Last year.
I don't think I've got it.
I wish I had a digital copy so we could review it. I don't know anybody that's seen it. I got nobody to fucking talk about it with.
It is
some mumblecore.
It's not on Tubi, just so you know.
Say it's mumblecore.
Yeah.
Oh, I've heard of mumblecore. I don't know how I feel about it then, so I'll put it that way.
Oh, it was a Scream Factory release.
Oh, it's one of those.
I've seen Scream Factory release.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah.
You ain't kidding about that price hike, are you? On Netflix.
There it is, and I don't have that one, but there it is. I trapped the devil.
There's 3 characters in the movie. Like legitimately, I think it's Christmas time. AJ Bowen and his wife in the movie, they go to visit his brother. His brother doesn't want them there. His brother's like absolutely insane, and he has somebody trapped, locked in a cellar in his basement, and he said he's trapped the devil. And there's a giant crucifix on it. There's Bible pages everywhere. There's
I feel like I've heard of it.
oh man, it's so fucking good. And the ending's such a fucking payoff too. I mean, how much is it? What's it? It's $4 on Prime. I know that because that's what IMDb's telling me.
Did that come out during the shutdowns or something? Because it seems like that was something like sent out.
Oh, it's still $20 fucking dollars.
It's on Blu-ray for $20.65 because fuck Scream Factory.
It came out last summer.
I don't know why they didn't send that out then. It's weird.
It's also apparently not on any of the usual things that I would use to look at Scream Factory or Shout Factory stuff. So I haven't checked Shudder yet. I should check Shudder. Although I highly doubt it'll be there.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't. But I mean, I'd be interested because I remember hearing about it. It sounded interesting.
That's an awesome movie, and it would be good to talk about. And Tragedy Girls.
I've got that one.
I know it's on Hulu.
The good old BDR Blu-ray of it that they put out.
That's why I never bought it.
It still looks good. I mean, BDR,
sure.
yeah.
I just don't feel like I want to spend money on a BDR film unless I'm buying it from the fucking director.
I don't care to get it if it's cheap. You don't want to pay too much for a BDR.
Well, I think the BDR's like, well, when I saw it, it was like $20. I don't know what it runs now, but anyway, Spiral.
Yes.
We spiraled out of control on the conversation.
Who wanted to go first on that?
Giving it a 3.
I'm going with 3 myself.
I think I was wrong on which one I think will be in a disagreement on then because I didn't expect it to be the other one. I thought it was this one. Go ahead.
Except I really liked it. I liked the attention to detail throughout it. I loved the ending. I liked a handful of the characters, some of the good, some of the bad. But I don't know. It was too slow. It probably we could have lost a chunk. Like even if we sped it up a little bit, we could have lost a chunk of the center of the film.
And it's only like an hour and a half long, right?
Yes, it's
yeah. But and yeah, but there was no payoff with what Malik was doing his research on this fucking dipshit that was trying to convert gay people through Christianity. There's no payoff with that. There was that, and like you said, it was brought up numerous times. There was nothing.
I mean, and Chuck, do you want to go before I say what I'm rating it? What do you want to say? Or?
No, I mean, I agree with what Beard said pretty much. I liked the movie. I thought it was a little slow in parts, but I thought the last act was good. I mean, if you like the good, shocking, poof, here you go type endings. But, it's just, I guess, like his research only kind of paid off at the very end, though, right? Because it kind of leads to a possible sequel, maybe, if they go that route.
You're referring to the very ending of it?
Yeah, like everything he put together.
No, so that's when we say that, that's the research, as in like what he learns about what's going on
in the town, not what he was actually working the book that he was writing. Yeah.
Oh. I don't know why that was there.
And I'm going to preface by saying this rating is going to sound real familiar because I gave the same rating to another movie, and that movie was Host.
Oh gosh.
Now, to be clear, this movie's better than Host.
Well, at least it's that.
That's the thing. I can't go higher though, because I just wanted it to be better. I wanted it to be more Like I like the movie more for what it's trying to do than what it actually does. That's the biggest problem I have with it. Like the fact that it's maybe I built it up too much in my head. I don't know, but it feels like it's trying to do more than that it can do. I also sometimes think it feels like it thinks it does more than it does.
And it's trying to be fancy for sure.
And so, for that reason, like as much as like there's aspects of it I do like, 2.5. I can't go higher than that. So, but it is better than Host.
It's funny that like
I don't remember what I gave Host.
When we rate films, it's funny that like 3 is it's good. A 3 is a good rating. It's not great, it's not amazing, but it's good. And a 2.5 is just like fuck.
Well, for me, a 2.5 legit is one of two things: literally average, which is what I felt Host was, or that was like for me, it was literally like, well, that was a movie that someone made. It's filmed. Yep.
What did the rest of us give Host? I blocked that out of my fucking memory.
I believe that you gave it a 2.5 or a 3 as well, something like that.
Oh, I definitely did not give it a 3.
Maybe a 2. You might have given it a 2. But like that's in the Host case, it was literally just, wow, they made a movie. Yep, that's definitely a movie. Basically, doesn't do anything new, doesn't do anything special. That's a movie. With Spiral, I'm giving it a 2.5, not because of that. It's more because you can see screaming out of the movie what it wants to be, like what it's trying to be, and it's just so frustrating, at least for me, that it couldn't remotely get there, but it felt like it thought it did, and so I couldn't, go any higher than a 2.5.
Yeah.
Like if I go below a 2.5, that movie's bad. Yeah. Host was a 2.5. Amityville 3D was a 2. So
I think I gave Host a 2.5. I've got a little list here of everything that I've watched from the year.
Yeah.
And the only thing with a lesser rating than Host is The Dawn, or the Amityville Dawn.
You're not including Amityville 3D and or Amityville New Generation in the...
Well, they're not 2020 releases.
Ah, okay. Good point.
And I got Scare Package on here to 2.5 too.
A letterbox account can help you keep up with that a whole lot easier.
See, I just marked that I've watched it and that I liked it. I don't bother with the rating system on that because according to the rating system on that, just for shits and giggles, I do check this every so often because I hate Letterboxd for this purpose. I like Letterboxd, but what I hate is if I go in Letterboxd right now and I search Vampires vs. the Bronx, according to Letterboxd, it's averaging a 3. If I go into Letterboxd and I search Spiral, it is averaging a 3. No. Hell no. Like that's the thing about Letterboxd, and it's not necessarily it's the Letterboxd issue. It's when you see something get a 3 on Letterboxd, it's basically the case of you've got a billion people going, God, I love it, and a billion people going, that fucking sucked. So you're like,
so you even out with.
Yeah. I will say, just because I always feel like I have to bring this up. This is the I don't know how manyth movie that we've done from Shudder, where and maybe it's just the audience of Shudder, but like you go on Shudder and you never ever see anything on Shudder within the rating system that Shudder uses where it's less than a 4. I mean, usually.
No, never.
Like Spiral right now is rating a 4, and I've got like unexpected and enjoyable, interesting movie, very twisted, where directors take a risk with good guys' chances of winning getting thinner and thinner as time passes. Good psychological thriller, really suspenseful, pretty good. Great film, greater twist. And fine. Oh shit, I forgot about that. There's one other thing I should mention, which is the worst thing about Spiral is jump scare, creepy ghost girl.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got nothing on that one though.
I got nothing on that.
I forgot about that too.
I forgot about that completely, but
that's a little out of left.
I wasn't going to mention it.
Yeah, just all I'm going to say on that front is the minute she first appeared, with what she carries with her at that point, my wife's like, "What the hell was that?" And I'm like, "Well, I guess here you go, bye." Basically, like that's like completely out of a completely different movie. That thing, but anyway.
Well.
Anyway, so yeah, Spiral.
I say check it out.
It's worth checking out. I'm not. That's the other thing. Like, we'll tell you like if you should never watch Amityville 3D. You should never watch Amityville New Generation. Spiral has enough in it. You could probably get something out of it. It just didn't work for me, basically.
Yeah.
3 out of 5. Chris says check it out.
Yeah. We got what we got. We got Ghost Foo, Cake Foo.
Ghost Foo, Tape Foo. We've got
Burnt CD Foo.
Yeah, Burnt CD Foo. We have gratuitous
nighttime phone calls. Foo.
Gratuitous chest hole.
Gratuitous bloody ceilings.
Yes, gratuitous bloody ceilings.
Gratuitous Walkman scenes.
Gratuitous 90s. Gratuitous 90s technology.
You got gun foo here too, a little bit.
A little bit.
Gratuitous sweaters.
Yeah. Yep. But
my wife said at one point she thought she could hear her internet connecting watching the movie.
They ought to have done that. I'd add that in.
They should have, honestly.
But one thing I was going to say, we're kind of light on news this week, obviously, since we used it all on the last one. But I hear they're supposed to be remaking the Wrong Turn, apparently.
Oh, shit. I just remembered something I should talk about. I'll get to it in a second. Haven't they been talking about that for a while?
Yeah, but there was a poster down, I think.
Well, I should point out, we are low on news, but there was one story I forgot to mention in the last episode. And, oh boy, that story. So I'm getting this, I want to stress, from comicbookmovie.com in an exclusive, which is from them speaking with Full Moon Features director and producer Charles Band.
Yeah. I know what you're doing.
Yeah,
you sent this the other day. Yesterday.
Because fuck this story, which is Charles Band recorded an exclusive interview with comicmovie.com in which he revealed they were working on a Lovecraftian project called Miskatonic U, the Resonator, and explained their initiative of making a whole bunch of new assorted movies in detail. But what he said is he's planning to make 18 short films in 2021, with some of them being franchises that are going to be resurrected in the form of films, short films in the Puppet Master. Fine. God knows you can't get away from that franchise. Evil Bong. Fine again. And Reanimator? Why the fuck are you touching Reanimator? You produced it. You had nothing else to do with any of the movies in the franchise.
Aren't they also remaking Castle Freak?
Yes, I think that. I want to say he's not involved in that.
That's like Barbara Crampton doing that, right?
Barbara Crampton's producing that. And that's supposed to be coming out actually pretty soon, actually. The Castle Freak remake is coming out. That was in the news. Yeah, December. It's coming out in December, December 4th, on demand and digital HD. It says Fangoria and Full Moon, so I guess technically Charles Band is thus involved. It's got that lovely old horror marketing chestnut of a bold reimagining of a horror classic, according to the poster.
Well, since we're speaking of Full Moon, I recently got 2 more of their Deadly 10 movies in the mail today. I got the, oh boy, I can't wait to watch it, Weed G's. I'm sure you can feel my anticipation in the air with that one. Halloween Night, Ouija's special edition. It's a special edition, boys.
Of course it's special edition.
It does look like
it from them.
It's got a lot of extras, though. It does. The complete making of it, which is 100 minutes long. Ouija's of the Night music video. Puppets. The thing about puppets. Of course, it's got a thing about puppets on it.
Of course, it's got a thing about puppets. It's got.
We got commentaries, all that good stuff. And then the second one, also with the Deadly 10, Blade, the Iron Cross.
Speaking of Puppet Master.
I've heard nothing good about, by the way. Nothing good.
Just let us know when you get hold of Barbie and Kendra attack Area 51, whatever that third one of his goddamn franchises.
This says this is the 12th entry, 12th official entry in the Puppet Master series. So are we counting the remake, or are we not counting the remake?
Yes. No. So it's shit. I had the list. Hang on. Let me get it out here.
I know we probably can't count Retro Puppet Master. I think that was which one was the one that just had a bunch of clips of everything that's already happened?
I'm pretty sure that's Retro. So according to Wikipedia, your mileage may vary on this. The order is that this is all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Puppet Master, Puppet Master 2, Puppet Master 3, Toulon's Revenge, Puppet Master 4, Puppet Master 5, The Final Chapter, Curse of the Puppet Master. For the record, as I'm saying this, no, we're not doing this, W.
Oh, I don't want to.
I didn't think you did. Retro Puppet Master, I think it might be Puppet Master: The Legacy is the one you're thinking of.
Maybe.
Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys, Puppet Master: Axis of Evil. 10 was supposed to be Puppet Master X Axis Rising. That was X. That's why it's X.
Yeah.
And then Puppet Master Axis Termination, Puppet Master The Littlest Reich, and Blade the Iron Cross.
Littlest Reich looks good.
I have every one of these movies. Every one of them. And
are you sure? Do you not want the one that comes with the action figures in Toulon's box that he does every year when he makes a new one and makes a whole brand new box set?
I'm good on that.
No.
But like these things, man, it's like, okay, they're all over the place with the continuation of them and stuff. Like you had Puppet Master 1, you had Puppet Master 2, and it wasn't like 3 and 4 were prequels. Well, actually,
so funny you say that. I can actually tell you. Go ahead. I can tell you, according to the Wikipedia page, there is a chronology. Go ahead. Tell what you got, but I'll tell you.
In the chronology of this, has anything ever happened after Part 2? Because Part 2 was never followed up on, was it?
So, quoting Wikipedia, your mileage may vary. Mm-hmm. The plot of the films in timeline order goes Retro Puppet Master, flashback scene in Puppet Master 2, that's in 1920, the Egypt scene. Puppet Master 3, Retro Puppet Master's prologue and epilogue scenes, Axis of Evil, Axis Rising, Axis Termination, which brings us to 1942, Blade the Iron Cross, which is 1945. The original Puppet Master is supposed to be 1989. Puppet Master 2 is supposed to be 90. And then after that, in chronology, you have 4, 5, Curse of the Puppet Master, and The Legacy, with Demonic Toys being possibly non-canon, and Littlest Reich being reboot / alternate universe. Okay. That's if you believe Wikipedia.
Yeah. The Littlest Reich is the Littlest Reich and the Demonic Toys one are the only two that's not released by Full Moon.
Littlest Reich was released by Full Moon.
No, that's the remake, right? Or it's supposed to be like remake. The modern one that happens in modern days. The one's actually got a 4K.
Yeah, it's got a 4K. It's got like some semi-famous people in it.
Wasn't it
It's on Shudder.
That was
it was a Shudder original. That's why.
Yeah,
Shudder original
by RLJE Films.
Yeah.
It's got like a $7.99 4K.
Well, that's also you mentioned Castle Freak. Castle Freak being put out on digital by RLJE. Yeah, so they're also behind this concept too.
And I don't remember who directed it, but it was supposed to be somebody that did good movies that was supposed to wrote and directed The Littlest Reich. And
you said it was good, Chuck.
It was bloody. Like, it's got a bunch of blood, but it's little. It's better than all. It's better than the other Puppet Master movies.
Well, it can't be worse.
Directed.
Yeah. But I mean, like, there's a woman, I should say, up around Nashville in this area that swears up and down that she produced that movie, and they cheated her name on the credits there, and she ain't credited. So.
What, Littlest Reich?
Yeah. Like
is she saying she produced it because of like Kickstarter or something?
I think she gave money to it somehow, like they talked to her directly or something like that. Because she produced like movies. She's produced like movies that got released by like Wild Eye and stuff. But she produced like
must be a Tennessee thing.
This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And then apparently she never seen her name on the credits, so I don't really know. Like, I don't know the legality of it. This is all alleged, so don't sue me if anybody's listening from Full Moon or whoever. But yeah.
You ever heard of Full Moon suing anybody?
I never have.
They don't have the money for that, man. It's all locked up in the warehouse with all the Wizard videotapes.
How do they get out of getting sued, though? Is what I want to know.
They purposely go out of their way to use footage like for their Barbie and Kendra movies that they know they won't get sued over.
with
What
a
about when they
crack lawyer team.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
They're like, we
magically-
want to do this, but we don't want to get sued. What can we do?
yeah.
What about when they
They're like,
magically
all right, we got 12 days to make this movie. Let's do it.
What about when they magically what?
release the VHS tape for I Spit on Your Grave, which they haven't had the rights to in years?
Hey, he said VHS rights don't go away.
Really?
That's why he was able to re-release Zombie and DC
Zombie
superhero Superman cartoons. Zombie Lake, all the wizard stuff.
Has anybody ever challenged that?
I'm
I don't
surprised
know.
that William Lustig didn't, because he fought tooth and nail with Arrow on this Django
I feel
situation.
like so given the Arrow situation,
But
honestly,
we're also talking dead format as opposed to the reigning format.
yeah. And also, I feel like the fight on that wasn't so much the Django release; it was probably the fact that behind the scenes he was working on a 4K, and Arrow was and was like, he's like, whoa, 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 and Arrow had to kind of get the rights to do the 4K from him instead of having him release it himself.
And I also think Charles Band and William Lustig are pretty good buddies, I think.
Oh yeah, they got Blue Underground has a shit ton of stuff on his streaming services.
And can we just say that I've had that same fucking Django set that's just now being released for 3 fucking years now.
Yep.
Yeah. And he didn't
That's
sell
a long ass fight for that, by the way. I was gonna say that was amazingly funny news.
And he held
They were
on
just like,
to it.
oh hey.
And like now I'm buying a 4K in it because it's goddamn it, it's Django and I have to have a 4K.
One thing about that thing I will say is funny is the way that they said when they announced that, they're like, so we can sell it immediately. And I'm like, so you're telling me Diabolic has had on a shelf somewhere like 70 copies, let's say, fuck it, I don't know, of the special edition and the steelbook.
Or if he had to send them back, whatever.
Yeah.
They were just able to ship them right back out because they're just been in a facility somewhere. It's like I said, Amazon sent me mine. I got it on release day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And literally
the
day they shipped it to me is when all that came out and they canceled it. Because it was like 2 days before release day.
I'm a little interested in the fact that on the Diabolic website for Django, the special edition. I'm typing the wrong damn thing. The box set that you have, the original box set, that is listed as sold out, I believe, like fully out of stock, join waitlist. Whereas the Steelbook, that one, which to my knowledge is still supposed to be a limited edition, that is listed as more coming soon.
Well, that's because that's a brand new thing. They were never going to release that before. So that and the 4K
that's
are new.
That's what I didn't understand. Okay. I didn't know that the Steelbook was new. Okay.
Now, the Steelbook, it doesn't have all the same stuff that's...
Honestly, no. It depends on what you mean by same stuff. So,
well, because this comes with a poster and a book, and you're not going to cram all that into a Steelbook.
Does it have extra movie on it?
Yes, it does.
Does it have Texas Adios? Yeah.
Yes, it does. What it says here is the original one you have had the usual stuff: 6 double-sided collector's postcards, a double-sided fold-out poster, a limited edition 60-page perfect bound book featuring new writing on the film, and a reversible sleeve. The Steelbook is not that different. It is different, but it's not super different. It says it's got no postcards, no poster. It does have a fully illustrated booklet. So in other words, it doesn't have a book, but it has a booklet.
It's got a thin book that's inside it.
Yeah, which I mean, I think it might even be the same length, honestly. Like yours is perfect. I have the Beyond the Door, I think, and Reanimator both did the same thing, which was the perfect bound book. You know, it's a little bit thicker, etc.
Yeah, it's about a...
Yeah, it's like, that thick. The other one, I imagine, will have probably about the same stuff that booklet had, maybe a few less pages, and not be like bound that way, I would imagine.
I don't know. To cram it in there with 2 discs and a Steelbook, it's going to have to be fairly thin or some tiny ass.
Well, it says on the posting on the Diabolic website that the Steelbook one contains writing from Howard Hughes, I believe it said. The one in yours says Howard Hughes and Roberto Curti Roberto Curti, and original reviews.
It's probably gonna be thinner because
they'll have stuff, but they'll cut some stuff out.
If you put anything too thick in there, you'll have like creases all in the book from the
clips and the discs.
Yeah. No, I don't. Yeah. It seems like it won't have the Roberto Curti stuff. I know for sure because that's legitimately not mentioned in the information. The original reviews one, yeah. So it's probably primarily you're going to get the Roberto Conti piece that the other one wouldn't get, basically. So it's similar, but you get a poster, you get postcards, and a bigger book with a better binding, basically.
Yeah, well, at least they got it worked out, and it's actually going to come out now.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yep.
With what else is Blue Underground announced lately? Anything good? The usual.
Blue Underground announced their usual. Yeah, basically. I mean, most recently, I think you've got most of the new stuff. It's
last thing I got, Daughters of Darkness on 4K. So.
I've got it ordered, but it's on a. I'm probably not going to get it until next month because I put it on the same order with Diabolic as Cronenberg's son, Possessor.
Possessor, yeah.
When does that come out?
That's out now, or it comes out this month. One of the two.
It's very soon. Yeah, it's something along the lines.
But I've got those two on an order with one of the John Carpenter. I can't remember if it's Prince of Darkness or They Live. I think it's the They Live 4K, and then one other 4K that doesn't come out until December. And of course, they're all going to ship when they're available.
So, looking right now, honestly, the Blue Underground Facebook page is nothing but a literal dog pile of Daughters of Darkness 4K reviews, repeatedly over and over and over and over and over again.
Does it look good, Chuck?
Oh, Daughters of Darkness looks great, but here's my problem with this release. Okay, so they put out the New York Ripper and Zombie and all those on these extra thick releases like this on Blu-ray, and then with the CD and the CD soundtrack and all that on them with the lenticular covers just like this has, and then they put out all the 4Ks of Zombie and House by Cemetery, and they were on regular 4K cases, nothing fancy. Well, now this is more like the other ones,
right?
So my OCD kills me because it fits in with the other ones, and it doesn't fit in with that Blue Underground put out. So that's my only issue with it. Obviously, the rest of it looks good. All that stuff. We got the booklets with it. It's 3 discs long. Got a reversible cover. I haven't popped in the Blu-ray disc, but I don't know. So I don't know if Blood Splattered Bride is included on that or not. Because I don't remember on the old one if it was included or if it was a second disc and had that with it. But
I would imagine it's not because Mondo Macabro put it out on Blu-ray.
Mm-hmm.
So unless Lustig could deal with Mondo Macabro to get it back for that purpose, probably not.
Yeah. But it looks almost like, well, it wouldn't be the same disc because it's like 4K scan on the Blu-ray, so it wouldn't be the same disc. So I say it's not on it.
I will say the last thing Blue Underground announced as a new thing, besides Django being a joint thing, is this one post from October 16th that says, quote, "Guess what we were working on today? The original 2004 HD Master was state-of-the-art for the time and THX certified, but this new 4K restoration blows it out of the water. I'm going to stop there. It's Blue Underground. There are certain movies they always put out first, and there's one movie they haven't put out yet. Guess which movie it is?
We already talked about this.
Final Countdown.
Final Countdown.
Yep. So they're working on a 4K of Final Countdown.
I figured it would be what's that zombie movie with zombies on the boat? What's that called? Soundwave or Shockwaves?
Shockwaves.
Shockwaves. Shockwaves.
I'm surprised there's not a 4K Shockwaves yet.
That takes time for them. I don't think that's on their list right now. If you think about the kinds of stuff they usually do, I'm more surprised they haven't reached a 4K Uncle Sam yet.
I'm sure that's coming. That'd be around July though. I'm sure.
Yeah, but they'd announce it at some point.
Oh,
To
they
answer your
got
question,
like 9 months.
let's see. To answer your question, the Blu-ray feature there's a new audio commentary. So there's 3 total audio commentaries on your set. Location feature, interview, new theatrical trailers, new alternate main titles, new poster and still galleries, new bonus CD soundtrack, collectible booklet. Yeah, no, it definitely not. Does not have the old movie.
Which actually I've got that on Blu-ray now anyway. So.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
it was nice to have it on the old one though.
I think the Mondo Macabro version of that. Hang on, Blood Splattered or Blood Spattered? Blood Splattered.
Oh, it's splattered. It's like the one that Tarantino copied.
Yeah. What? I'm not gonna say it. Nope.
What didn't he copy? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I didn't finish that sentence at all, my friend. I don't know what you're talking about. Blood Spattered Bride through Mondo Macabro right now has brand new version restores the film to its intended length and includes alternate scenes that have never been made available before.
Oh, well, there you go.
So apparently it's slightly different from the old Blue Underground stuff.
Well, it looks good. I will say that it looks really good. Of course, I haven't seen a 4K from Blue Underground that didn't look good.
I mean,
so far,
I'll put it this way.
I haven't.
Like I said, Blue Underground is very similar to Synapse in that if Blue Underground is making and putting out something, chances are they're going to take enough time to make it look halfway decent.
Yeah. I agree.
And if it's Scream Factory, then chances are most likely they'll have to fix it after the fact.
Get it out now and worry about it later.
Yes, for the record, didn't mention this before. Hey, if you haven't already gotten in your Scream Factory Friday the 13th collection replacement disc orders, just heads up, it's still being, I think, ongoing, but they're starting to ship them out in mid-December, I believe, or early mid-December. So, yeah.
Was it?
They sent out a thing that said they were getting ready. I don't think they're actually going to arrive until December, or maybe they're shipping them out starting in December.
They are. I'm reading my email now. Replacement discs are scheduled to begin shipping on Monday, November 23rd, which is 2 weeks ago.
Monday. As we record this, it'll be
As we record this, it's a week from now. As of you watching this, it's 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. So theoretically, W will have it by then, but yeah.
Yeah. Also, we're accepting donations for the Get Chuck Connery one of these Friday 13th sets. Anybody like to donate? You can PayPal the beard.
Are you sure you want to ask him to do that? Are you sure you want to ask him to PayPal the beard? Think you're actually going to see that money?
Well, I mean, I'm hoping. I'm just setting it up there. You know, it'd be a nice gesture for my years of service to the movie genre out there, folks.
So if you're going to say it's a nice gesture for your years of service to the movie genre, maybe you should have asked Scream Factory instead of us.
Oh, I did ask Scream Factory. I think they only sent out like 4 or 5 or 10 total, probably. And you know who got them? Blade Disgusting, Dread Central.
Yeah, the people who decide, the people who will just post the goddamn press screener without press release without actually changing anything. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Yeah. People be like, here it is. Here's the set.
Here's what this disc looks like. Here's the artwork for this one.
Here's the
let me read you what's going on.
Yeah, let me read you what's on the back. Let me tell you the plot synopsis. Hang on, flip.
I'm gonna start doing that more often with my stuff. Just be like, hey, here it is. Have fun with it. I could tell you more about it.
We're just gonna wait for Chuck to get a copy of what's one that is famous? Chuck will get a copy of Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 and be like, this is the best movie ever. This movie's phenomenal.
Greatest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Let me tell you about it. Flip it over on the back.
I'll just read it here because it's easier to read than scratch it. And then that's how a lot of people's got by with it over the years.
That's what I'm saying.
Also, randomly, go to your Dollar Generals and check their little movie bin because you can get cheap stuff like the Midnight Movie Collection is really cheap now. This one has.
They actually have them.
Yeah, this one has Strange Invaders, Invisible Invaders, Invaders from Mars, which I have on Blu-ray, and Journey to the Seventh Planet. This was like a whopping $3. So.
It's weird, like it's odd, like I don't know, being us in terms of that we've been doing this for long enough that we remember when certain things came out, and then like you find out, just as an example, as we're recording this yesterday, Hamilton Books had put up a bunch of like out of print Scream Factory stuff, and the stampede of people just running to grab it, and it's all like stuff from, well back, etc. But we're just like, we remember when those came out. Now they're out of print, kind of thing.
One of the weirdest things about Dollar General I ever remember was they had like, they were the last people that had the DVD box set of the Friday 13th ones with the little mask and the little clear box. Remember those that were like $200 for a while because they were out of print? You remember them?
No. I mean, I don't remember ever being that price, but I know what you're talking about.
They were high for a while. And when they went out of print and they went up in value, like randomly one year around Christmas, Dollar General got a bunch of them, like $20 a piece. Like when I first bought it, I paid $50 when I first bought it. Then I sold it and then I bought it again. So I've got most Friday 13th sets. I just don't have the new one. I have the old tin one, which, I mean, what's the value of that now, right?
I don't know. I've got it.
Was the tin like the one that they did first? Like the one that had like the band around it?
It's got everything. But
I worked at Shudder back then.
The actual disc of Jason Goes to Hell is the R-rated, not the uncut version. But when you redeem your Voodoo code, the Voodoo code version was unrated.
Well, it's the only box set that came with Voodoo codes, I think.
Mm-hmm. Which I'm sure I don't remember if I redeemed my Voodoo codes from that box set that I got, or if someone online had given me the codes previously. So the codes in my box set may still be valid. I don't know.
I think they expire after so many years.
They're supposed to, but I know for a fact I put some in like years after getting them, and they work just fine.
I've only had one ever expire that I couldn't redeem, and that was that movie Slat, and ain't even that old. But
I don't know that one.
It was a Universal release, and they had it on Blu-ray at the Dollar Tree, and the disc wouldn't redeem the code. But I didn't have trouble with that now.
Last time I went, they didn't have a lot of magnet stuff left. It was pretty much not much there, so I'm not.
I never get there when they first put them out. Never. And when you ask them about them, the employees don't know what they're doing. It's like, I don't know.
Yeah, no. Why would they?
Yeah. Some old 40-year-old, middle-aged woman. Oh, we get them sometimes.
You're not far off, bud.
I got a few years. I got a few years. I'm still vibrant. Still in the game.
There will come a point where we're still doing this show, and Chuck will turn 40, and that will be a hell of a day for Chuck Connery on this show.
I won't be able to get off the bed or get out of the bed during that day being 40, because that's going to be super depressing. I started this in 2008. You know how long ago that was?
Yes.
Are you asking if we can do math, or?
Yeah, it's just like mid-20s, boys. Mid-20s when I started this. Look at me now. The bad side of 30. A long time.
Your words.
And in what? 3 months? You got a birthday coming up?
Yeah, I do. Unfortunately, be the rightful age of 38.
Tell the truth, Chuck.
It's true. That's true. I'll be 38. I was born in '83, the year the chicken nuggets came out. So, yeah.
I'll settle for the year of Reanimator. Thank you very much.
I don't remember what other movies came out in '83. Was that the year Halloween, or was that the year that Friday the 13th skipped a year?
I don't think Friday the 13th skipped a year for a while.
They skipped
they were making too much money.
I wrote about it back when I used to actually, really do horror journalism. I wrote an article about it and how they was like the Saw. Saw was this generation's Halloween, or not Halloween, but Friday the 13th, because Saw wasn't skipping no years hardly. Of course, Friday the 13th and Saw,
Big difference.
Mm-hmm. Not gonna say anything on that. That's all I'm gonna say. I think we would have a difference of opinion on the hierarchy there, but
I don't hate Saw. I don't hate Saw at all. I just
I don't hate Friday the 13th at all. I'm just saying.
It just got so bad where the end up there I couldn't tell you. Like I can tell you which movie Friday the 13th what happens. This is the one where he's basically fighting Carrie. This
I don't
is the one
deny that.
where it's a comedy. This is the one where he goes to Manhattan for 10 minutes, and then there's like Saw where it's like, yeah, I don't know which one that was.
I don't deny that, although the only one really I get confused on is I always forget if Saw 5 or Saw 6 is Jigsaw gets healthcare. I can't remember which one's which.
I remember the individual Saw movies up to part 3. After part 3, it's just like, and then something will happen in like part 7 where you're supposed to remember this person was in part 2 or something like that. It's like, oh, there's that guy from 10 years ago. There he is. It's a twist. It's a long twist. But we almost did we do a Saw retrospective one time, or was it going to do one?
We did one.
Was I there for that?
I don't know. Eli was still in with all those big retrospectives. I know Eli was still around. So we did Saw, and then we did Hellraiser.
We did Saw. I thought we did Saw. I know we did Puppet Masters 1 through 3. No, sorry,
we did Subspecies.
We did Subspecies 1 through 3. I'm pretty sure we did Saw because I remember talking about Saw with you guys. But I know you guys did Nightmare on Elm Street, Halloween, although I was part of it, Friday the 13th.
Why didn't we do the 4th Subspecies?
Because Bloodstone is hard to get hold of.
Oh.
Like when you buy, this is how you know what Full Moon thinks of Bloodstone. When you buy the Full Moon Archive Collection, the big box that if you wait till the last day or right after his road show when he's at a convention, he'll sell it to you for $30 when normally he sells it to you for $150, so he doesn't have to look back with him. Mm-hmm. That set comes with 1 through 3.
Yeah.
You have to buy Bloodstone separately. Basically,
they never put 4 on Blu-ray.
Yeah, because again, that's to not put too fine a point on it. The bastard stepchild of the family.
Well, let me tell you. I tell you how I realized how hard to get Part 4 was. Is I got the Blu-rays of 1, 2, and 3, and I had the Vampire Diaries Blu-ray or whatever it's called.
Vampire Journals.
And and I forgot that there was a Part 4, so I sold my DVD set that had Part 4 and all the other ones together, which wasn't released by Full Moon. It was released by somebody else. They had loaned it out to them or whatever, and they put out a DVD set of them. And so then when I went back to watch 4, I realized that I don't have 4 anymore. I had to go get a DVD of Part 4, a standalone DVD.
Episode 110 of Exorcast was a Saw retrospective. And I only know this because of the description on it. It's when we did that big Halloween giveaway. Yeah. So I know Eli was there for that one because we got a lot of stuff from the stuff we were reviewing at that time were, I believe, Adam Albrin's films. Because we gave away Crossbears.
Cemetery.
No, but was it fucking? I've got it upstairs. Pieces of Talent.
Oh yeah, that one.
That was great.
I'm sure. No, we were there because I have Pieces of Talent.
Whatever happened to that guy?
I don't know.
I think he made like another movie based off the same franchise.
I know.
He made a sequel.
Chris Bushi, King of the Witches, gave us a ton of tapes to give away. I think Tyler won. I think he got all that shit.
But, I still don't have my Crossbear, by
the
way. Do you not?
I don't know. No, I don't. Which, I have to ship you a package here in the next couple of days.
Correct, that I paid for, mind you.
Yes.
I've still got an extra copy of Necronomicon over here that you've not offered anything in a trade for.
Well, you'll have to catch me on a day when I'm in trade mode and not sell mode. Holidays.
There are those days.
There are those days.
Not when Chuck Connery's around. It's always, hey, I need to pay my phone bill.
Hey, this time at least I made the deal like a whole 3 days before it was time to pay it. So. Well,
didn't have to shoot him.
It just came out.
What, your phone bill?
Yep, just did. So, there we go.
Everybody in Grundy County, you're welcome. I paid Chuck's phone bill for him.
Well, it only really matters when I leave the house because obviously Wi-Fi runs everything on it. In the meantime, I have to keep my soap opera of a social life in order.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody asked for updates on that. We didn't air that part of the show last time. Was that off air or on air? I don't remember.
Oh, it's on air. Well, no, it's off air, but you
Okay.
mention it on air.
Okay. Well, I'll give you all more details when we're off air on this, because I don't think it's good to put it on air.
Speaking of going off air, that's the end of the show.
It's like 10 o'clock. Yeah.
Good time to end. AEW's over. Go to bed.
We're trying not to have another hour and 20-minute episode in here. So
yeah, he's got cooked chicken.
And we're getting there. We're at an hour and 5. Anyway.
That's what I'm saying. So yeah.
Thanks for watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that stuff. And stick around if you want to hear about Chuck's sex life, I guess. That's apparently what we're going to hear about.
We're not putting this on the air.
Exorcast after dark.
After dark. Yeah. No, there ain't much.